Today I am rebuilding my streaming setup, all with expensive gear I've gathered over the last years. This year my goal is to make a smart streaming setup. I want to be able to press one button on my Stream Deck and have my whole room being prepared for a stream. This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Now the first thing I want to apply while the desk is still empty are the RGB strips on the back. I have awesome strips that Govee sent me a while back for my RGB video, and I never really made use of the sticky tape on the back since I was waiting for when I wanted to build my final streaming setup. And well, this is it, because in 6 months I will be moving to my new studio. Let's test if they actually work. This is the remote. That's gonna look awesome in the setup. This plank here, which as you can see on the inside is an IKEA Linden tabletop, it fits perfectly inside here. And since I also made this false wall on the back here, it will look like a very clean separate segment. I took some poster stickers I had lying around to attach the lights to the bottom of the desk. You can find some of these on Amazon. And one of the great things about these lights is that they are smart, since making the streaming setup ready to start streaming with one press of a button on my Stream Deck is very important for me in this build. If you want to know what's inside of this PC, it's a 2070 Super, 3900X as the processor, 64GB of RAM, and an over-the-top PC case that was way too expensive. On the top of the desk I have my Synology server, and this is where I store all my videos. This thing allows me to sleep at night, because if one of the drives fails, I can just pull it out, replace the drive with a new one, push it back in, and I won't have lost any videos. Now my main monitor here is one of the most irresponsible purchases I have ever made. The price of this thing, Hello sir, do I interrupt?
Yeah,
Have you ever heard about Surfshark VPN?
No, never. Tell me more.
Sure, so basically when you have a VPN, and for example you have it on your phone, then the data sent between your phone and the internet will be encrypted, so no one will be able to steal your personal data.
You know what, that does sound pretty useful. I use the internet a lot.
Yeah man, I thought so, you look like a nerd. But hey, do you also play games?
Just call me a nerd, man. Of course I play games.
Right, I did. Now, does it sometimes happen that you want to play a game, but it's not available in your country?
Yeah, I recently wanted to play Lost.
Oh, I am going to make your day. You could play those games with Surfshark VPN.
Really?
Yeah man, you simply go to the app on any device, you switch your country, and you can play the games that are available in that country. One account works on unlimited devices, and you can also get an alert when one of your passwords has been compromised. You know what, that is actually awesome. Hey, if you want to use Surfshark VPN, you can get 83% off plus 3 months for free by using my code VIDEONERD. The link will be right here on the screen and in the description, and there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, as I was saying, the price of this thing here was $1,500. Now, is it worth paying $1,500 for a monitor? Probably not. As for the specs, it is 38-inch, it's 4K wide, it's 144Hz with a 1 millisecond response time for gaming. It also has G-Sync and a very color accurate IPS panel. So while this monitor is definitely crazy expensive, it does come with the full package. There's nothing else I could wish for in a monitor. Now, since this monitor is this big, we also need a very beefy monitor arm. I will definitely link this arm together with all the other gear in the description. If you're looking for a budget arm, this is the one I'm gonna use for the other two monitors. I think this one was around $25, while the big one here was around $150. As you can see, this arm has cable management features. The power cable is already running through it. I'm gonna drop this power supply off the screen here behind the desk. Just like I showed when installing the PC, there is a Linden tabletop that will be coming on the back here. It will completely hide all the cables, so we don't need to worry about anything lying under the desk. This looks kind of amazing. However, I still want to test the landscape setup. I always think it looks epic, so I tested both, and I think that the TIE Fighter one does look better. And one of the reasons it does is that the two monitors on the side are not as high as the monitor in the middle, since the ultra-wide isn't a usual 34-inch, but it's 38-inch. So to attach the monitors on the side, I'm gonna choose two pretty cheap monitor arms. I will link these in the description together with all other gear I used. I think they are around $25. The monitor on the right is a 4K monitor. It is 60p, it has an IPS panel, and overall it's a pretty basic monitor. However, since it's 4K and 27-inch, I will have a lot of room to put programs on it while streaming. So between the two monitors on the side and then the ultra-wide in the middle, I will have more than enough space to manage the the whole stream on YouTube while being live. Now, as my stream camera, I'm probably going to use this Sony a6000. I was kinda deciding between my main camera and then this one right here, but since I want my setup to be ready to stream with one press on my Stream Deck, I thought it might be a better idea to use a camera that I'm not really using while making videos, so I can put it right here and then just don't touch it again. However, I do have a problem because with this camera here, I need a micro HDMI to HDMI cable, and the one I bought a while ago broke down because I'm clumsy. So I am buying a new one right now, and I will probably be able to pick it up in 30 minutes. Now it looks like I might be able to get this off the wall here. I'm gonna try not to break it. There we go. Let's see if we can get a Velcro like this off the wall. Oh wow! It doesn't leave any mark. I want to quickly take a moment to announce something for which I need your help. In a few weeks I will be launching a new series called Stream Setup Showdown, where you all send me streaming setups and then I showcase them on the channel in regular episodes. Now, if you decide to submit your streaming setup, you can also submit an introduction of yourself or a few clips of your stream, because this series will be both about the streamer and their setup. This series is just starting, so if you do a decent submission, you will get featured. Let's continue building. Now, as my mousepad, I have this very big SteelSeries one. I would love to create my own mousepad. If you have an idea for a design, definitely leave it in the comments. My keyboard is actually disgusting. Look at this. What the hell is this even? Look between the keys. Yikes. Just like I did a while ago in my gadgets video, I'm gonna have to clean this keyboard completely. I don't have time for that right now, so I hope this Swiffer is what it's called. I hope this is gonna be enough. I doubt it. This keyboard is actually amazing because these keys right here work with the Elgato software. So you can use these 6 macro buttons as Stream Deck buttons. The only difference is that they don't have a screen. Luckily, these budget monitor arms also come with cable management features, and the RGB of the keyboard already turned on. Now I gotta build myself a custom keyboard because I'm getting really pissed at these brown switches. I definitely do not like them. My current mouse is a Razer Death Adder. This one must be over 8 years old. I would really love to buy a white glorious Model O, but if you look at this whole setup, a white mouse wouldn't really go with this. So either I wait until I move to my next studio or I get a black Model O. I'm not really sure yet. So now I need to connect this cable here to the monitor. It wasn't long enough to go behind the desk, so I will still need to get an extension cable. I'm gonna connect the key light here on top, and then we can use this multi-mount solid arm, which is what it's called. And with that, we will be able to connect our camera here on top of the monitor. We will do this later. The Elgato key lights are also part of the smart streaming setup. So if I turn them on like this, you will see that when I open the control center of Elgato, the lights will show up right here, and then we can just turn them off or on. We can change the color temperature and also the brightness. Besides the Stream Deck here, I also have a ton of smart home devices that got sent to me by SwitchBot. For example, this right here automatically opens or closes my blinds. I already installed one of them, it works perfectly, and all these devices can be controlled with this hub, which can be linked to the automation website If This Then That, and the Stream Deck has an If This Then That integration. So this is all new for me too, but if everything works, I will have a complete control deck that can control my room lights, open or close my blinds, and as I mentioned in the intro, the goal is to have one button that prepares my whole room for the stream. Now I gotta be honest, I feel like a badass when these blinds are automatically closing. I need help. Now this thing is really cool. I'm gonna point it towards the camera here. I can go to schedule, and then in 1 minute this bot is gonna turn on. There you go. This is the bot pressing a light switch, doing something like that. Now I obviously want to control multiple of these, and I also want to link them to the Stream Deck, and for that we need the SwitchBot hub. I'm gonna put 2 of them next to each other, and to be completely honest, now I have no idea what I need to do. So I now linked everything together. We have a new button here on the Stream Deck. If everything works when I press this, both of these should turn on and my blinds should close. I'm gonna click the button and let's wait to see if it actually works. One, the next one, maybe, hopefully, the next one. And now if my blinds close, then everything works. I'm gonna turn my camera around and they are actually closing. This is extremely cool actually.
Okay, this means we're gonna be able to link a bunch of things together. I'm gonna peel off this protector here. We need to tape it on the bottom of the switch. And then there's this second piece of adhesive tape, and we need to tape this to the light switch here, because then when this little handle of the switch bot gets pulled back, this little piece of tape will pull on the switch. I'm gonna turn the light on right now. Let's see if it pushes it. And there we go. Okay, let's turn it off right now. I don't need my light. There we go. I ordered some stuff yesterday. There were a few things that this setup was lacking. Now, this box is full of products. The first thing is just a long DisplayPort cable. We needed that because the current one was too short. Then, oh, look at this. I bought a black Glorious Model O, and the biggest reason for this is that I really want a wireless mouse. Ooh. Whoa, this is light. It feels like there's nothing inside. Another thing I bought is this right here, a big giant USB hub. And I bought something that works in combination with this. Let me quickly open this. It's one of these USB type B cables. Now, since this cable is so long, I will be able to connect it right here to the PC and then route it all the way to the back of my desk. Wow, this is definitely much smaller than I expected. I thought it was gonna be like this big. I'm gonna use the new mouse I bought, the Glorious Model O Wireless Black. I'm gonna plug it in the first slot here, and the RGB already turned on. This looks pretty epic if you ask me. Now, I just remembered I ordered an HDMI cable for this camera here, so I'm gonna grab it at the store and I'll see you after. So the camera I'm going to use as my webcam here is the Sony a6000. There are a few very well-known streamers that use this camera. An example is Shroud. Pokimane also uses this one. We're gonna connect the HDMI portion to this cam link here. That cam link will go into a USB slot. This is such a game changer. If you want to completely turn this camera into a webcam, you're also going to need a dummy battery. So we simply plug this battery into the camera, and then behind the desk we can plug this in a power strip. I think we have a problem. I turned the camera on a couple of times. There is no signal coming in, and I think that besides breaking my HDMI cable a while back, I also broke the connector here in the camera. Not that big of a problem. I'm just gonna use my main camera as a webcam now. The only downside is that I'm gonna have to connect this camera to the setup here every time I want to stream, instead of just leaving it there and then turning it on. By the way, opening OBS reminded me of something. I just launched my first Skillshare course. It's an OBS Studio course for beginners, going through the whole process of setting up your graphics, your settings, your alerts, making your mic sound better. So basically anything you need to know when you want to set up a quality live stream. I think if you go through my link, you get 2 weeks or a month for free. So yeah, let's continue with the video now, but I'm really looking forward to some people checking out the course. Now, this next project is really cool. So I've got another SwitchBot module here. We're gonna have to make this power strip smart so we can connect a bunch of devices to it and then control it with the Stream Deck. So I hope this SmartBot here is gonna be strong enough to turn on or off this switch here, which is pretty heavy. We just need to let this little piece of tape stick a bit over the edge, because that way the SwitchBot can easily press the end of it down. So let's test it. Let's turn it on, and it works. And I'm gonna try to turn them on, so let's see if it works. I heard something. It actually works. That's so cool. Let's turn it off again. There we go. Now for the audio setup, I have an awesome package here. First of all, the legendary mic, the SM7B, and I'm going to use it in combination with the Wave XLR, which is like a dream for streaming. And then as my mic arm, the Elgato low profile wave arm. I actually already have this setup kind of connected because I used this setup here to film my Skillshare course. It's in the description. It just launched. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to put my Stream Deck over here and then the Wave XLR next to it. Now, I am going to connect my microphone arm right here on the desk, and as I already said, this is one of the sleekest mic arms I have ever seen. You can set it to your preferred height and then tighten it with this screw. Now you should take a look at these cable management features. You can just take off the panel like this, then you just route your XLR cable through the arm and you put the panel back on, which by the way is completely magnetic. It just snaps in like this. You pull the cord all the way through. This panel is also magnetic, and then we can connect it to the Wave XLR. We can unmute it just by tapping on the top here. This is static. I can make a macro here for my system settings, and if you can see the sliders here, this macro here will control this slider. So if I push it, you will see it fading down. I'm obviously not going over everything. However, one thing I mentioned in the intro is that I wanted one button to open all my programs on my PC, and I actually figured out how to do it, so I'm gonna show you. I will zoom out all the way. I will click on this button here, and I will see that all programs will be launching on the PC one by one. Keylight turns on, and then they will all be repositioned. So as you saw, OBS Studio just got positioned right there. I want to check if the Govee Glide would fit in this setup. I'm going to turn them on here in the app. Look at this, it looks sick. And it used to be hanging right here. We could also hang it in the corner. Another option is hanging it like this. This looks pretty weird. So I decided to go with this position, and to be honest, I'm pretty happy about it. Don't forget to submit your own streaming setup for my Stream Setup Showdown series that's coming. You can win $100 in owned graphics. Links to all gear I used are in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Hey, if you want to use Surfshark VPN, you can get 83% off plus 3 months for free by using my code VideoNerd. The link will be right here on the screen and in the description, and there is a 30-day money-back guarantee.